What's up,
Hello.
everybody? It's the Uncanny Omar, and with me is the Dan without fear. I love
Why do
your
you know
name.
what? If you say that again and you laugh during it, I'm going to show you what without fear means, Omar.
What are you going to sue me? You're going to sue me? You're going to take me to
The
court?
Dan with filing fees.
How is everybody doing? I hope you all are doing great this Saturday. It is 11 o'clock here in the state of Kentucky. Beautiful sunny weather. Yeah, let us know where everybody's from. Love to know all that. We got let me see. We got 3 winners from the Guess the Inferno Omnibus contest, and I'll announce those with Maddie and Dan at 12 p.m. So in about an hour for those that are not on Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, need coffee. It's 8 a.m. Cali, my man, all the way from Cali.
I also need coffee. It is brewing. We finished the first pot. Second pot wasn't finished before
Vancouver, Hong Kong. What is up, Jameson? 8 a.m. in California. Love you guys that are so dedicated to coming on at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's wonderful. Western Australia. I just mailed something to Western Australia. So, yeah, before I get started, I mailed away all the winners from the game we played about 2-3 weeks ago. So all that stuff has been mailed off, including Western Australia. And for my first time ever, I mailed something to Romania. I don't know if my boy's watching or not, but that should be coming hopefully soonish. I don't know. But congratulations to all those winners. And again, I'll be naming the winners here at noon, here in about an hour. Central Florida in the house. What?
The Netherlands, Ireland, Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland. Nice. Belfast, right? Sweden.
2 from London. We got a lot of people here.
Yeah. I love when everybody just chimes in where they're from. This is why we do it at this time, because I think this is a pretty good time, except for some folks in Australia that are like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. You guys are real troopers, man. You guys are real troopers.
Someone from Versailles.
What? Go back to that. Is it my wife? No, that's right. That's right. Noir Wolf is
from France.
Yeah, Versailles, France. Ann Arbor, Michigan. Just? What do you mean just? It's like saying just Kentucky, which I do.
I just drove through there not long ago. Or
Ann Arbor?
There. Yeah.
I haven't traveled in, good Lord, half a year probably. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat already, all the way from Athens, Greece, Andreas. Thank you. Italy and in 5 p.m. Boring Kansas. I guess one could say the same about Kentucky, right? But sometimes it's okay
I've
to
lived
live
in Kansas. It's more boring than Kentucky. Kansas ran out of its scenery budget very, very early on in the state, and just used the same thing on repeat for the rest of the state.
Sunny, humid, Corvin. Tampa, what's up, Roberto Rodriguez?
I'm going to get my coffee. Be right back.
11 p.m. Singapore time. Missed the live show with David Gabriel as it was 2 a.m. Yeah, no, I'm sorry about that. That was the only time I could do it, and I needed to get it out. So for those of you that don't know, sometimes when we do the solicitations live show, and I swear that's just Dan pouring his coffee, not taking a leak. It's a very Naked Gun thing to do. But sometimes David's in the chat and he chimes in with some answers that people have questions to. And the big thing that he did in the chat was when somebody asked him, what else are you guys going to do for the 80th celebration of Captain America? That's why there's so many Captain America Omnis being released next year in 2021. He said, we're also going to do Captain America Golden Age Volume 2. So that was the first any of us have heard of that. And he's trying to get approval for me to announce something. It's an omnibus or an omnibus line. I don't know exactly. But he's trying to get someone's approval. And that usually means Disney. That's what that means for me to announce it. So hopefully I'll get to announce something else.
Speaking of announcements, now that I have...
Dude, your shirt's awesome. I just realized you're wearing a Macross shirt.
Yeah. now that I have 2 Epic collections, and I'm probably going to get a few more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can personally guarantee that they're going to collect all of X-Men and X-Factor in these Epic collections, right? I mean, you know that for a fact and can personally guarantee it.
Sure.
Right?
Yes. I guarantee you, Dan, that
All right.
all of X Factor. Actually, X-Men is a no-brainer. X-Men
All right,
will
I'm going
for
to send you
sure.
a document to sign.
I don't know if I can do that. I'll have to let my lawyer look at that first, which is
Okay.
you.
I
So,
looked at it. It was fine.
so yeah, we made all kinds of announcements this week. It was a marvelous week here, and I don't have to wear a suit anymore because I'm done. Yes, I'm wearing a shirt. Michael, your package went out today, brother. So congratulations, you were one of our winners 2-3 weeks ago, whenever that was. So it's full of goodies and stuff like that. What's up, Omar Reyes Jr.? I will go with the X Factor Epics. Hey, I was just talking about you, man. Romania. I just mailed out your package as well. So congratulations. I did not burn all my suits. The Inferno did. Woo! That was a lot of fun, man. That was a lot of fun to put those together. I haven't worn a damn suit in like half a year. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So,
Weddings and funerals.
My package for my birthday this week. Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. What's up, Mr. Awesome? Working today, but on a break for a bit. Hope I interview Todd McFarlane. You know, if I ever get to interview Todd McFarlane, one of the things I'm going to push for is a reprint of those damn Spawn oversized hardcovers and maybe more, right? That's what I want. I know that's what you all want too. Saludos desde Irlanda, Omar. Reading Green Lantern Omnibus Volume 2. Oh, yeah. You're in for, let's see, that takes you into Blackest Night, right? Yeah, if you've never read it, you're in for a treat.
Those are some good stories.
Big week, Omar. Yes. Yeah, absolutely, man. That Jeff Johns' Green Lantern is freaking amazing.
I just think I think it's funny how Jeff Johns is the DC equivalent of Brian Michael Bendis, but you love him.
I love his writing. I love Brian Michael Bendis as a human being. How do I put it? I don't hate his writing, but I don't appreciate it as much as others. How about that?
Do you disagree with my premise, though?
I hate that you're right, though.
That Jeff Johns and Brian Michael Bendis are basically counterparts. They're punching counterpunch.
It is, man. It's so weird because they were both around the same time, and then for a while, Marvel had a chance to grab Jeff Johns and keep him when he was writing Avengers, but they let him go, and look what happened, man. He did his. I mean, I'm glad they did, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't have this phenomenal JSA run, the great Flash run, or Green Lantern, Infinite Crisis, all these things that he did over there. Wonderful. You happy about the Inferno Omnibus containing the companion, or would you prefer it had the prologue? I honestly, I knew that there was no way they were going to put the prologue and Inferno together. It would have been too big. And on top of that, guys, it's X-Men. Marvel knows it's a cash cow. They know we're going to buy it. They know whenever they reprint or make Inferno prologue into an omnibus sometime, we're going to buy it. And they may add just one comic to it, just so my dumbass can buy it. Not a fan of the Bendis speak. Bendis speak? Yes, Bendis speak. He does a lot. He loves dialogue. I don't know. Jeff Johns' Omnibus, I don't think the Green Lantern. I know JSA Omnibus Volume 2. There was another one that was looking like it was out of stock. I can't remember one of those. I'm watching Doom Patrol series right now. It got me so hooked. I ordered Doom Patrol by Byrne. Oh, by Byrne. Because I couldn't get the Morrison run at a decent price. Yeah. Byrne's run's a little different. I'll say that. It's different. What you want is the Great Morrison run, though. Dan, today is 8/8/2020. It's a big day for us Transformer fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's, the day the music died.
Sort of. Well, the day the Matrix was handed down to the wrong dude.
By this here Optimus guy.
So yeah, on August 8th, 1986, Transformers the movie premiered on in movie theaters.
And we
America.
all
And
cried.
none of us knew what we were in for. We didn't know
No.
we were gonna cry at a young age. Parents walked out pissed off that they were killing off our toys. So
I don't think
it's
parents cared all that much, but
well, I think me and you wouldn't have cared. We would have been laughing as parents, but I think my mom cared. How about that?
yeah, it was not what you expected going in. Let's say that.
Here's something from Meow Nyan. Quick figure talk. You guys see the Earthrise Ironhide? The 2-pack
Yeah.
Prowl is up on pre-order for a Is it up? Is it up still? I know the 2 Seekers, the Conehead Seekers, are still up.
It was up. I ordered it as soon as it came up. I don't know if it's still up. That was what, a week ago or 2 at this point. I do like the fact that the Ironhide like roof shield shows the obvious place they're going to put the light bar for the Ratchet remold. So
right.
That's nice to see.
I just can't wait for the other molds that come out. Just picked up a signed copy of Wonder Woman New 52 Darwin Cook variant. Oh, nice. Darwin Cook was one of my favorite artists. I mean, I guess he still is. Just because he passed away.
Yeah.
Dad's exosuit. Where's that?
He told me all about
fucking Daniel. Way to ruin that movie. Strategically, they should have shot that kid. Like, they would have gotten a lot further. It would have been a lot more fun. I just hate humans.
No. See, he was, I just, it's like there's so many issues with that movie. I mean, for all that it did well, it is still very much don't worry about that part. In for the vast majority of the film.
That is one of my favorite movies. Like it, despite all its flaws, and it's got a lot of flaws. Excited, both Dr. Aphra Omnibus and Defender Omnis were both listed as Volume 1. I always get excited about that too, Bobby. Because it means to me that there's
the implied promise.
The even if it's false, like, the implications are at least there a little bit, that maybe if this sells, we'll get a Volume 2. But it brings me a lot of hope that I was so happy to see a Star Wars Omnibus again. Because literally when Marvel had the line at the beginning, it was like Omnibus, epic, Star Wars, new lines. Oh my God, it was insane. And then about 2 years ago, it kind of started dying down, and I'm like, oh man, I want to see it continue. I want to see another omnibus with Star Wars. I want to see Darth Vader reprinted because it's out of print. I want to see a Volume 2 of Darth Vader. And, for a long time they were quiet. We only got one oversized hardcover of Dr. Aphra, and now we got an omnibus. So I'm excited. I hope it sells, and they're like, okay, well, maybe we should revisit this line. We are a year into Dawn of X, about 90s issues in.
Are we really?
Let me see, November. Yeah, just about, yeah. Huh. Just about, because the summer crossover was House of X and Powers of 10, and then
you're like 2 or 3 weeks behind, right?
I am 4 issues behind in a lot.
Okay, so you haven't read like X Factor.
Issue 8. I haven't read 10. No, I haven't gotten into the 10s yet, which I think where the line is right now. So I'm 2 months behind.
Okay. I will say I love it in general. I am a little bit starting to get tired of, here's a new book. Here's the whole cast of the new book that just happened to come together in this completely non-organic way. I actually really appreciate that X-Men has just been, this book's going to be whoever it's about this week. As opposed to, and X Factor is the one that comes to mind, where it's like, oh, we need an investigative arm. Here are all the people who just happen to not be doing anything.
I feel like a lot of people, since Peter David's run on X Factor, they kind of run with that idea a little bit. Nobody's using these characters. Let's go ahead and put them together in a book. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
And only few people can do things like that, right? And I like who's writing it? Is it Leah Williams? I think. You know, I like her writing for the most part, but I have not read X
Oh,
Factor
and that's
yet.
not to say that I didn't enjoy the book. I just it's just like, if everybody's together on the island, I mean, that's how most of these things are going to start. It's like, here are 2 or 3 people who are combined with a purpose, and then they've got 3 or 4 more people who are tagging along for whatever reason.
Right.
It's fun, but
I got you. Is there an Injustice Omnibus Volume 2? Yes. It's not out yet, but it has been solicited. Have any of you seen the Netflix Transformer? I wrapped it up last week with my daughter. You? Did you finish it?
I've finished it.
I like the story, and the graphics grew on me. I did not get used to the voice actors. That's my biggest complaint.
See, I thought the voice actors were pretty good for the most part. There were a few that were like, this could be better.
It's difficult when you have a, when you show a G1 version of a character, your mind immediately goes, this character's supposed to sound this way or close to it. And I'm okay with the difference, like in the range of, especially with people like Starscream, right? Because nobody can do
right.
a lot of, but I don't know. I didn't like Prime's voice. Everybody just seemed too edgy, like war torn.
Modern Prime voices, and I've said this before, suffer from what Peter Cullen brought to the live action movies, which is, and I'm not saying that it's his fault. I'm put all the blame on that on Michael Bay, but basically he took all the fun out of Prime. Because if you go back and watch the original series with Peter Cullen, like, Prime joked and he laughed and he had fun, and modern depictions of Prime, he doesn't have fun. He doesn't understand fun. He doesn't understand laughing. And I mean, Prime
comes in.
Well, Prime was a warm character in that original series, and that has been lacking in every version since Transformers Prime, to me, just about. But like, I love Megatron in Siege.
I love this comment right now. Watch it in Japanese, Omar. The way God intended. What an amazing comment. He's not wrong.
I mean, than obviously he is, but that's okay.
I mean, if there was an equivalent of Peter Cullen, like that voice, I did like Soundwave though. I like the way they went with Soundwave.
I liked Wheeljack a lot.
It wasn't everybody. I will be announcing the giveaway winners of the Inferno Omnis cover today at noon. So in about 40 minutes. Is that right, Dan? Math is hard.
Yes, that's right.
If you don't like X Factor, I don't like you. That is a t-shirt idea, Green Lantern. I love that.
I didn't say I didn't like it. X Factor is just near and dear to my heart in the original 5 X-Men. And I have a hard time letting go.
You're one of the few people I know that the original X Factor is near and dear. When most of us thought of X Factor like, it's just there. But I realize a lot of people thought of like Excalibur the same way. They're like, it doesn't really matter what happens in Excalibur. X-Men's doing its own thing. Like, Excalibur wasn't even part of Fall of the Mutants. Well, they weren't even around then. My fault.
Yeah.
But they were part of Inferno, but nobody even knew they were there. Like, they were like, let's go to Manhattan. And they were just like shoehorned in. And the X-Men were like Wolverine never once said, I smell kitty pride, right? Nothing like that. By the way, somebody asked an amazing question earlier, and I cannot find it. Oh, here we go. From Manuel.
Ooh.
Dan, you can answer this too. Mutant Massacre or Inferno? What do you prefer? I know my answer, but what do you prefer, man?
Inferno.
Okay.
Why? Because it's a Cyclops-centered story. No, I mean, it the whole Goblin King or Goblin Queen and Mr. Sinister plot got not wrapped up there, but mostly wrapped up there in a lot of ways. It just, and it was weird. It was a weird story
It was different than the X-Men
Yeah.
stories that people were used to. There were mailboxes coming to life and eating
Yeah.
people. There were
Yeah.
elevators. There were a lot of creepy things in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was fun.
For me, it was Mutant
And
Massacre,
I
though.
was gonna say, and Mutant Massacre was sad.
It was amazing. Like the deconstruction of like the team, right? Like the purest X-Men, Colossus. You know, who was? I mean, he had his flaws, but when he like killed Riptide, broke his neck, and he looks at what was Harpoon, and he's like, "You're next, little man." I mean, that was one of the most innocent characters, and he just murdered somebody. Then you had like Nightcrawler put into a coma. Kitty Pryde couldn't face back. I mean, the whole thing led into Excalibur years later, but
Yeah.
there was so much that happened. The reunion fight between Wolverine and Sabretooth, which we didn't even know about. It was just retconned in, right? They have a history together. Psylocke coming in and sort of saving the day. Where the hell was Longshot? All these questions. Oh, I love Mutant Massacre, man. It was wonderful. I always had an issue with the Thor parts where he just came in and like, you know, I don't want to give away for the people that I was like, what? This doesn't fit in. I'm forced to read Thor, but I'm glad I did because that got me to read Walter Simonson's run. Done with Dawn of X titles at issue 11. Are they not continuing or are you done? Are you done, Bruce? Any news about the Thunderbolts Omnibus, number of issues or release date? All the release dates are on our Facebook page, but I think it's March if I'm not mistaken. So if you haven't joined our Facebook page, it is at Nearman Con. But if you're not a fan of Facebook, and I don't blame you, let me look that up for you really quick. I want to say it's March, if I'm not mistaken, is what we had it at. Let me do a quick search.
Let's see. While you're doing that,
April
there was
2021. We don't have the contents yet.
let's see. Oh, where'd it go? It's gone. All right. Questions go by so fast, like tears and rain.
We also don't know the contents of Defenders or Thunderbolts, but as soon as I know something, I'll let you all know, or we'll put it on our social media. Were you guys? This is from Matt Simpson, Dan, Omar. Speaking of Transformers movies, were you guys surprised, shocked that we didn't have a live action movie before 2007?
No, there wasn't. There wasn't the geek culture zeitgeist enough to push it once Jurassic Park came out, and because Jurassic Park is the first movie where CGI looks real.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
I gotcha. Okay.
I think it had to wait until there were enough people who would be willing to go see a movie about toys. And that had to wait till we were all grown-ups.
I think it had to wait until we reached it, at least in our mid-20s, early 30s. Fallen Angels was canceled. Have they thrown X-23 and Psylocke on another book? I know Psylocke is in Hellions right now.
Yes.
Dude, did you see they brought back Nanny and Orphan Maker?
That's what I'm saying.
Jorge Nunez, no, you did not miss the Inferno covers. I'm going to reveal them at noon. So in about 36 minutes. Omar, I can't even freaking say my Uncanny Omar talk pretty one day. Omar, are Stan Lee's original X-Men Volumes 1 and Volumes 2 dropping next year? The Omnis? Not that I heard of. I've mentioned this several times on the show, and I don't know if anybody listens to me, but it is very difficult for Marvel to reprint Silver. I don't know. There's something about the Silver Age Omnis just don't sell. Like, I know people want Incredible Hulk reprinted, so that's one, right? Or Thor. But it took them for, like, Incredible Hulk was on liquidation for 3 years. I remember going to conventions and seeing it for like $25, $30. And I sold mine when the epics were announced, and I think I got like $50 for it. So I think they have to. Now, I did tell David though, like, there's a lot more people that are getting these type of books, right? It's not just old collectors. So there might be a chance. I'll say that there's always a chance It's X-Men. I'm surprised they never did. They only had one printing. Is
Yeah,
JSA?
but that's not, of all the X-Men run, that is by far the, I really, in a lot of ways, come on, the pre
Giant size?
yeah, the pre-Giant Size X-Men isn't really X-Men in a lot of ways.
I will say it's not good. But I mean, there were moments, the Roy Thomas and Neil Adams stuff with the Chris Claremont Sentinel story.
Sure, there were moments, but as a
But the
whole,
early years are pretty. There, those in the early Avengers issues are known probably as the two worst Silver Age runs
yeah.
of ongoing series. Is JSA Omni 2 ever going to get a reprint? Strange that 1 and 3 are still available. My contact at DC is kind of how do I put it? Unresponsive when I ask him questions, but when they ask me questions, it's weird. He just randomly shows up. So I don't know at the moment. That's one of the questions I did ask, and someone was asking me if I had asked about the JLA mapping. They were silent, so I assume that means no. Omar, what's with the suit and tie lately in the videos? I was getting nervous you were turning corporate. I'm not turning corporate. I just needed a reason. No, when I did the Marvel, the one that came out last fall, whatever that video that was, I think it was like maybe it was in November, December. I literally was out of the meeting and I came home and made a video and I had the suit and tie on, and people were like, every time Marvel drops news, you got to do it. So that's why. That's where that came from. Omar's Batman by Paul Dini Omnibus, a good run. It is an excellent run. Heart of Hush is one of the best stories on there. I'm just pissed off they're orphaning issues from the Streets of Gotham stories. That's what irritates me. I'm like, oh, I can finally get rid of my Streets of Gotham hardcovers. No, I got to keep a couple because they're not in the omnibus because Paul Dini didn't write them. God forbid they don't do a chronological release of something. Do we need to read the original Thunderbolts to read the one with Elektra and Punisher? No, not at all. They're completely different beasts. At this moment, I just want to remind everybody that's watching live to please hit that like button if you have not yet. Let's see. Ecstatic's Omnibus getting a reprint. Not that I heard of. As a matter of fact, I haven't even seen the... I know it will come back because they mentioned it several times, but Peter Milligan and Mike Allred's, what was it going to be called? Excellent? I can't remember what the series was going to be called. It was supposed to be released last year, but then we got, the great Jonathan Hickman came in and did this House and Powers of X and kind of everything got reshifted. I don't know when that miniseries is coming out. Maybe they'll wait until that miniseries comes out to announce a reprint. They're just now starting complete collection. Well, not just now. Late last year, they started complete collections. Usually they wait for those to sell before they start doing reprints.
Here's a question.
Is it ghosting you, Omar? I think he's ghosting me, yes.
So, question is, do publishers include any legal protection in their books that prevents customers from taking legal action due to misprints? I mean, there is no. If you're just buying something, there is nothing they can do to prevent you from taking some sort of legal action. But I mean, why? The only way that would work, right? Because obviously, if you get a book and it's misprinted and the entire run is misprinted, just like let's say there's an omnibus and a bunch of the pages are mixed up or something, but it's across the entire print run, yeah, everybody's going to return it, and then frankly, it's going to be the store's problem, and they're going to work something out with Diamond or Marvel or whoever. It's going to be based on their agreements with their distributors. But you as a consumer, you're just going to return it to the store you bought it from, right? Because it's screwed up. Theoretically, you could put together some sort of class action, but you would never win that because the whole concept of buying things is that your remedy is you just return the thing, not that you can like force them to take any action. It's just it's how it is when you buy anything. all these, you see lawsuits against big tech companies for like, design issues and whatnot, and those settle occasionally, but they settle because it's expensive to fight litigation, and they know that these plaintiffs' attorneys who do those kind of things are basically just in it for the paycheck and are willing to dog them to the ends of the earth. So it's just cheaper to settle. And,
I still have a framed check somewhere of 32 cents to my name from Sprint from a lawsuit that
oh yeah.
I'm like, what am I going to cash this? I'm not
like
that hard up for money.
My favorite mail days are the ones where you just get a random settlement check for like less than, $5 or something. It's like, oh, that's nice. That's a free coffee. But but that's the long answer. The short answer is no, because they don't need to.
There you go. I would love O'Neill question to come back so much. Me too. I would love it to come back in an omnibus format. Or, you know what? At this point, I'll take a compendium because those trade paperbacks are so out of print. Any good Birds of Prey? Yes. Chuck Dixon, followed by Gail Simone. Both of those are freaking excellent runs. Both, in their own way, are excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer Gail's a little more, just because of that cake that Ed Bendis draws. Everybody with the thick booties. But that's just, that's just me. Uncanny Omni is November 10 or 11, I believe. It is November. When is the release date of Absolute Carnage? That was supposed to be August, but apparently it's been moved to September.
Because of Carnage.
Or because of the pandemic.
Well, I mean, Carnage. Lowercase c.
Gotcha. I see what you did.
Oh, you guys are so funny.
You done?
I mean, for now.
Okay. We should get Marvel to resolicit James Robinson's Scarlet Witch complete collection. That is an excellent series. And his FF was okay too. Like, I always worry that, to me, his Starman is perfection. But then, like, when he did Justice League, people hated that run of Justice League. And there were moments for me that I thought, like, Cry for Justice. I know, God, people hated that stuff. When Omar wears a suit and tie, it's going to be a good day. Unless I'm going to a funeral, but you're right.
But he's generally not taking a video there.
Have we seen the last of Marvel's flat spines? Shoot. I've got the War of the Realms omnibus that I'm going to do an advanced overview of. I can't find it right now, but it fooled me because I thought it had a flat spine, but it's just because it's such a big book that it looks like it does. But I think they're done with the flats. We are over the flat spines phase. How about that?
I have a question for you, Omar. Is it still worth going to Ollie's for books?
Yeah. There's tons of stuff. There was a platinum edition of books. There's some big, thick trades, the complete collections that retail for $40. They're about $8. Yeah, absolutely. If it wasn't for the pandemic, I'd be making Ollie's videos, but I don't want to encourage people just to go shopping for books unless you need to, right? Trying to be a little more responsible, I guess. Did they drop the Wolverine Omnibus yet? Wolverine can be bought from Amazon, I know. Cheap Graphic Novels has the newer one with the curved spine, not the flat spine. So go check out our sponsor, Cheap Graphic Novels, where you can get up to 50% off your books. You tell them Near Mint Edition sent you their way. And they give you a free credit on your next shipping order. Injustice Volume 2, the omnibus was supposed to be sometime was it December, I think? It might have been pushed back. I can't even get a confirmed date on Green Arrow, which was supposed to drop like this month. Is there a reason why collected editions don't have print on demand like some books have? I think that has to do with the book market. I think if Marvel and DC, I think a smaller publisher could do that, like somebody like Image. But if Marvel and DC would do that, the book market would destroy them. Like they would be like, no, you can't do the book market. Oh, cause keep in mind that's who you're selling your stuff to, right? Yes, there's a direct market, but the book market is where you want your stuff to, like places like Barnes and Noble and Amazon, right? Like I remember when the Epics came out, they had a big problem with the. Well, Dan knows, or for those of you that don't know, I've done videos on this, but I'm sure all of you know that the number is not in on the spine, and the book market hated that because it's on the back, which is smart because I think with everything they know that a volume 4 sells less than a volume 1.
Yeah.
But the book market threw a big fit. They were like, "This is the stupidest idea. You know, we can't have that." And somehow Marvel was able to talk them into it, and look, you know, now they can't even keep the damn things on the shelf. So it's like, I guess it's the equivalent of what toys try to in the toy market, like when they try to appease to like Walmart. Like they don't care about anything else except Walmart, which is like the big dog when it comes to like purchasing toys.
Well, I might phrase it a little differently. Say they care about everything else, but if they can't sell Walmart on it, it's not going to happen. Is maybe more of like, unless every other retailer in in the entire universe is on board.
Good point.
And if you're curious, that's why, despite Walmart screwing over every toy pre-order that has been announced in the last year and a half, why Walmart keeps getting exclusives. So there's your answer.
What's the best Batman? This is an excellent question. I'm doing a Batman reading order starting next week. Holy shit, that's already kicking my ass because I'm already questioning myself. I'm like, should I recommend it here or later? Oh man, why do I take myself so seriously? Anyway, what's the best Batman omnibus if you're a Batgirl fan? I've only read the solo series for her various iterations in The Killing Joke. There's not a okay. So here's the thing: there is not a lot of Batman omnis post Crisis on Infinite Earths. Boy, but if you're a Golden Age fan, you're in for a treat because they have all that shit up. And I don't mean to call it shit. I'm just saying they have all that stuff up, like ready for people to buy. It's insane how many there are. I'm trying to think of when because Batgirl was already Oracle by the time she comes back into the picture in Batman. And honestly, I'm gonna recommend The Road to No Man's Land, which has not come out yet. Batgirl was supposed to get an omnibus, but get the Gail Simone omnibus when that comes out. That's an excellent run. I fought and I hated the idea of Barbara Gordon getting the ability to be Batgirl again because, you know, she was paralyzed. She was one of the best characters that DC created as Oracle. And I hated the idea that they were going to give her the ability to walk again and be Batgirl again. But if anybody was going to pull it off, it was Gail Simone. So when that comes out, get that. But I also recommend the No Man's Land or Road to No Man's Land omnibus because she is not in any of Nightfall. Well, maybe she's a little bit in there, but those are ones I would recommend. Omar, when are we gonna get X-Men, Extreme X-Men, or Gambit omnibus? X-Men. Although it does have phenomenal artwork by Steve Skroce, who went on to do the storyboards for The Matrix. I'm really want to push for Extreme X-Men. I realize it's not the best Chris Claremont, but it is Chris Claremont. And a Gambit, you know what? If we had a movie, despite of whether it would suck or not or whatever, I'm sure they would have done a Gambit omnibus. Maybe we'll get a Cable omnibus before we get an X-Men omnibus. What's up?
What happened to X-Man? Where is he in modern continuity?
He was part of that Age of X-Man storyline where they abruptly brought him back
to me.
Well, he became a shaman during Warren Ellis's run, and he kind of died, but that's okay. He came back during the Dark X-Men saga with the Dark Avengers crossover. It's bad. And then there was Age of X-Man, which he became a prophet
Is there a possibility that the Cable book that's coming out now might have Young Cable, Old Cable, and X-Men team up?
You know that's going to happen. I have a question for Dan. So is it really murder if you wear a skull on your chest and your family was gunned down in front of you?
Only if the people murdered are not objectively bad guys.
What? No, Michael, I can answer that. It's murder. Love David G's comment about All-Star Squadron. I agree. Yeah, David Gabriel, if I want New Warriors Volume 2, I have to make a DC print out a All-Star Squadron Omnibus. And I was like, I don't think they even know they have that book. If you want complete, read from Chuck Dixon's all the way to Gail Simone's. Oh, you guys are answering questions. Let me scroll down a little bit.
Here's one that I'm going to take because it's... Oh, go ahead.
Okay, let me answer this one really quick. Do I think the Batman's by Scott Snyder Omnibus will be reprinted before a Volume 2? Heard bad things about the binding. The binding is a pain, but you can use the ruler trick, which is where I take a small, and I don't want to make a video on this because there's always a chance you could mess up your spine, and I do not want to make anybody do that. But
scoliosis is bad.
Shut up. You spine on the book. You can take a small ruler. There's these little, like what the hell are they called? Knitting needles. Is that what they're called? Knitting thread needles, the big things. Okay. Take one of those small and then go make the eye pop out. Lift it a little bit. You can do that. But you have a small chance of breaking your book spine, Dan. Let me do the super chat really quick and then you can take that question. Thank you so much for the super chat from Atomic Hound. What are the prospects creatively and sales-wise for a Star Wars Marvel Universe comic event, given there's no licensing hurdles to overcome? Well, they did it towards the beginning, right? They did the
Vader Down, right?
Yeah, the Vader Down story. But he's asking, could they do a Star Wars Guardians of the Galaxy crossover?
Oh.
Right, with Marvel Universe comics, X-Men. I mean, we've seen Star Trek and X-Men drawn wonderfully by Mark Silvestri.
But Star Wars is a long time ago. And it's far away.
Don't you dare say it's a galaxy far away. Like, that's kept Conan from coming into New York City, right? And joining the Savage Avengers.
Fair enough.
I'm honestly surprised they haven't done that by now, right? Had a big crossover. And the problem with that, though, is that the comic books are now canon, right? So if the comic books are canon, then this really happened in the Star Wars universe. And if this really happened in the Star Wars universe, you're going to piss off a lot of Star Wars fans.
That's why you got to have it Marvel Universe Star Wars. It can't be Star Wars Marvel Universe. If it's Star Wars coming into Marvel, then it's non-canon. If it's the other way around, with like the Avengers showing up on Tatooine, that's a problem.
It just doesn't fit together. I thought the same thing about Star Trek and X-Men. What
about Star Trek and Transformers? I mean,
that happened, didn't it? Or Avengers and Transformers? Anything is possible.
All right, so here's this question, Omar. I'd like to hear your answer on this because mine is no. I got so hung up on the whole Rodimus Prime trying to be a good leader thing that I kind of quickly forgot about the Hot Rod being an idiot.
No, you don't, Megatron. So the question is, were you one of the Transformers fans who blamed Hot Rod for Prime getting killed in the movie? Me and all my friends did back in the day. I remember when we went to see the anniversary of Transformers the movie. We went to the theater, and I did some interviews, and I was wearing my Hot Rod shirt. And there was a guy that was genuinely pissed off that I was wearing that into the movie. Like, off camera, he was like, "You realize that's the guy that killed Optimus Prime, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but he still visually looks cool."
No, Megatron killed Optimus Prime, not Hot Rod.
Yeah, but guilty by association, right?
No.
Okay, guilty for trying to stop Megatron.
He's an idiot. That doesn't mean he's the cause. Guys, in the law, there is proximate cause. And there is legal.
We are not going to get into the logistics or law of Transformers. IDW does goofy crossovers all the time. I don't see why Marvel can't do something funky and people just accept it as face value. True. I think Star Wars and Disney are like, maybe Disney would have to step in and be like, no, you can't do that unless you use Rey and Finn or something like that.
You know what? Except, I mean, part of the IDW aspect of that is that, like, why not? Whereas, let's be honest, Marvel and Marvel fans take Marvel's characters more seriously than IDW seems to take its licenses in a lot of ways. I don't know.
I cannot wait for Terminator Transformers. Come on, that's just amazing.
That's good. It's good so far.
Good morning, everybody. With them getting the rights to Alien, here comes the fun questions. Getting the rights to Alien Predator, maybe the engineers would show up in Star Wars as it was a long time ago. Can you? Oh my God, maybe this is what Marvel has been waiting on. Or they're waiting for Micronauts and ROM to come back. And then all our 40-year-old minds are going to be like, oh my God, I wanted this to happen as a child.
That's right. You add Star Wars to the Hasbro shared universe. And
and I mean, like, older generation, right? Like, I think people in their early 20s reading Marvel comics would be like, what the fuck is a Micronaut? And why does my dad care? Micronauts are back. Give me that funny book. See what I mean? Micronauts. They know what's up. Hey, Omar, where's the giveaway? Right here is where the giveaway is. I'll be announcing the winners in 13 minutes. So
13 minutes?
Yeah. Time flies, man, when you're answering questions left and right.
Omar, are you hyped on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020?
Guys, yes. Hyped, I don't know if that's right, but I'll try it. I am a firm believer that in life, you have to be prepared for everything. This is why... Hold on, I'm not a survivor man by any means, but I think it's important to learn things that you may need to know. How to change a tire, like easy things, or like how to shoot a gun, right? I may not have guns, but like shooting a gun, that has to be important, like for survival reasons in case there's a zombie apocalypse. There's things I think in life that are important to learn. If I'm ever caught in a situation where the pilot has a heart attack, and granted this happens none of the time because they have co-pilots or, the computer flies itself. And they're like, is there anybody here that can fly a plane? And I'm like, I'm a graduate of the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Bring my ass up to the cockpit. Let's do this.
Now, see, I would be able to do the same thing except with Chuck Yeager's Flight Simulator from 1986 on the Tandy 1000, baby.
Let's be real, Omar. You never go in near a cockpit before the marshals take you down. Not with a name like Omar, I'm not. They'll beat my ass before I make it to that cockpit. You're good point.
I'm
good
a pilot. Is anybody else a pilot?
No, really. We'll take anyone else.
I've flown on a plane before.
Omar's been in his doomsday bunker. No, I don't think the world is ending, but I think I'm a firm believer that you have to, there's certain things in life you have to know. Just in case shit happens. Just saying that. Did you guys hear about Disney I just heard about that this morning from Fabian Nicieza, actually. He made a comment saying maybe they'll let some of us X-Men writers write some of the episodes. So the question is, did you guys hear about Disney? We'll be making new X-Men cartoons with the same writers as the 90s.
Huh.
Yeah. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Get the DuckTales writers to write it.
Omar going to be like the guys on Snakes on a Plane using the flight controlled yoke as a steering wheel. I'll be a little more prepared than that.
Not very much more prepared.
Super important question. What's better, old comic book smell or new comic smell? Depends on where you stored your old comics. If you stored them like at your grandma's house and she's got like 85 cats, I'm going to go with new comic smell. But there's just something about that old comic smell too.
Gross.
No, I'm not going to read that one. Hi, Omar. Dan, how did you guys meet and how do you maintain the friendship over the years?
Patience.
Yeah. Anybody that's seen me drunk has to have a lot of patience.
We met because I moved to Frankfurt right before high school, and there are two high schools. Well, there were two county high schools in Frankfurt, Western Hills and Franklin County. I became friends with our mutual friend, Andrew, who, because they were all coming in from the Catholic school, which went through 8th grade, so they didn't know anybody. And then Andrew said, "Hey, I make videos with my friends, Omar and Matt, and you should come join us." And that's pretty much it. At least
That's
for my
it,
side.
yeah. Oh, that's it. Yeah, we met in high school, and we've been friends ever since. He was a guy that collected Transformers, and I think most people, we were in high school when we met. And I was like, oh, cool, another Transformers guy. And then I found out he liked comics. And we used to make goofy movies together, and still kind of did over the years.
Yep.
And then we had a podcast together. He was big time in Dragon Ball Z action figures.
Yeah, for a long time.
He was huge in that. He was a name in the Dragon Ball Z market.
I was internet famous. That's what it was. It was very exciting. Probably less internet famous than you are now.
I don't know. I think the internet was a different thing back then, though.
That's true.
People were using forums.
There was a smaller percentage.
Okay, that might be true. Frankfurt,
Less
non-Germany. Not Germany.
No, Frankfurt, Kentucky.
When do you announce who won? I announce the 3 winners at 11:53 and their prices.
At 11:53 or at noon?
I mean, I'm sorry, at noon in 7 minutes.
You just read the time out. It's
time.
Right now.
These questions,
except
man.
Not right now.
These questions. Open, damn it. Open.
Oh, shit. What are we going to do now?
Oh, I love that.
And frankly, that was more shocking than Prime dying. Let's be honest.
Did Spike just say, oh, shit?
Yeah, exactly.
What a moment. Donnie Cates or Chip Zdarsky? Ooh. Donnie Cates gave us God Country, but Chip Zdarsky did Life Story. That's hard. I haven't done.
Fernando.
What do you say?
Macho, but Ricardo Montalban, he is good macho.
Man, okay. Today, Saturday, August 8th, I'm going to say Chip Zdarsky. I'm so excited that we're getting, a lot of his stuff starting to come out in oversized hardcover. David on the chat said, his Howard the Duck would be a good omnibus. And I was pushing for his Spider-Man run. Oh, Chip is awesome. And he's got, so yeah, I'm going to go with Chip. What about you, Dan?
Well, I haven't actually read anything by Donnie Cates, so I'm going to say Chip Zdarsky.
Oh, there you go. What about Donnie Zdarsky, their illegitimate son? Scott Snyder, Ed Brubaker. Oh, I love these questions. I take them so seriously. Ed Brubaker, 100% Ed Brubaker. Not that I hate Scott Snyder's run, but Ed Brubaker is phenomenal in everything that he's written, with the exception of X-Men Deadly Class, but that is not his fault.
Yeah, I'm going to highlight this real quick. Old movies. I just posted one in the chat, a link to one. Watch it after this is over.
Oh my God, you guys are killing me with these questions. Brubaker, Gotham Central. Yeah, and that also had Greg Rucka. I mean, Criminal. Everything he has written is gold to me. Hold on, there was a really good, and this last one, because I can't do this to my brain. Not this morning. It was Morris. Oh, here we go. Morrison or Moore?
Well, I mean, Toni Morrison wrote a lot of good things.
Tony Moore. He's talking about Grant Morrison, you fool, or Alan Moore. And I know you know that. I'm gonna go with. I know this is blasphemous, but I'm gonna say. I did a countdown. I already know my answer. It's Grant Morrison for me. Dan?
I think I'm going to have to do Grant Morrison too. I love some of Alan Moore's work, but I would never describe it as fun. Mm-hmm. At least not the stuff that I've read. And Grant Morrison's stuff, even when he's being deadly serious, is fun.
Did you read League?
It's been a very long enough ago that I don't really remember it at all.
Man, and honestly, this is the tougher question because, like with Ed Brubaker and Scott Snyder, immediately I looked at that and I was like, Ed Brubaker. Even with Donny Cates and Chip Zdarsky, I know the definitive answer is still like Chip Zdarsky because I've enjoyed everything that he's written lately. But Morrison and Moore, this was close because at one time, I'd say 10 years ago, it would have been Moore over Morrison. But for some reason, I don't know, the older I get, the more I appreciate Morrison's writing. Omar, will the Uncle Scrooge, Don Rosa collections get... Yes, they've already reprinted a few of the box sets, and more will keep being reprinted. So I did have a contact at Fantagraphics, and then we had the pandemic. So otherwise, I'd be announcing things more. Yo, Minty, sneaking a peek while at work. My man, Bendis or Lobdell? Okay, I have to go with Lobdell though because he gave us Generation X. He gave us, despite of how I felt about his X-Men, I didn't think it was as good as Niciesa. Bendis gave us Miles though, and he also had, he had a good run on Daredevil, and he made Avengers the flagship title that it was at Marvel. Because if it wasn't for Bendis, it was insane to be at that time buying comic books and seeing Avengers titles. 3 Avengers titles. That was insane. You never saw that before.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen like West Coast Avengers and miniseries, and they were strong sellers. I am announcing the winner in 2 more minutes when Maddie shows up. Well, here's a question for Dan. Classic X Factor, X-Force, or Excalibur?
Later Classic X Factor. Like Inferno plus Classic X Factor.
Excalibur. I love Excalibur. I mean, X-Force was
loved
fun.
Excalibur too, but other than Kitty, Excalibur didn't have any of my favorite characters in it. I liked Nightcrawler, but he's just never been one of my favorites.
I get it.
Everybody else on that team I enjoyed, but
trying again. Sorry, Roger Stark. We get a lot of questions, and I do. And if I don't get to your question, please leave it in the comments section. I'll be happy to answer it. It's getting harder for me to get to all the questions on to all the comments throughout the week. So that's why I try to do this show on Saturdays. Trying again, Omar. What happens when the volume omnibus catches up and surpasses to the Rider Omnis? Like when you have Spidey Omnis catch up to Spidey by Roger Stern. Have you talked to Gabriel about this? Not really. Because I think when the idea originally started, they didn't think that they were going to do the whole run, right? I don't think they ever thought that these big $100 books at the time were ever going to sell as much as they did. And then they did, right? So we were only going to get it makes sense to start off with, okay, let's do Uncanny X-Men 1 and then New X-Men by Grant Morrison because that's a very popular run, leaving a huge, 20 plus years of a gap in between. So when they started to do this, they didn't have any idea how long or mapping ahead of time. So I think when the Omnis do catch up to Roger Stern's Spider-Man, they maybe call something else. It won't be like Volume 8 or Volume 9. It'll be called like the Black Costume Saga Omnibus and stories like that. Kind of like what they've done with the X-Men. I think out of all the titles in the Marvel Universe, the X-Men have done holy shit, we've got just about everything. in X-Men from the beginning all the way up until New X-Men. So they've had to make some oversized hardcovers. They'll make it fit. They will get it in there. It's just they didn't think about it ahead of time. And then now it is noon, as promised. I'm going to show you guys the 2 covers to Inferno. So, while we wait on Maddie, and then we can read the 3 winners. So there were 3 winners, 2 runner-ups, and the grand prize winner. The grand prize winner, of course, won this Daredevil Omnibus Volume 2.
Ooh.
Still sealed. That's my copy that I ordered for myself because I didn't think Marvel was going to send me one, but they did. So congratulations. See, I like to pay it forward. And then second place, we get a stack of books like this. That's a lot. That's epics and complete collections in there. And then third place, we'll get a stack of books like this, but not as big. And then if the first place winner is not watching, you can just email us along with second place. And if they don't want this, they can pass up on that and get this stack of trades. Nope. Okay. By the way, there were 58 people that guessed the standard edition cover. The direct market cover was only guessed by like 3 people, which is awesome. But everybody, to make it fair, was thrown into a random number generator. So good luck to everybody. But here are the... there's Maddie.
1 second, let me adjust this audio.
Sure.
Okay, now I'm good.
Sure.
There were a lot of entries, but let me show you all what the cover looks like now. So you're seeing it here for the first time.
Never gonna give you up.
So here's the cover of X-Men Inferno Omnibus. It is issue 241. And this is what I love. It's not a good resolution, but the direct market cover are the 3 house ads put together. Oh, man. And the whole Sim and Sinestro, Mr. Sinister and Nastareth right there at the bottom by Silvestri. That was the first time I put Sim and Nastareth's name together. I'm like, oh my God, their name makes up Mr. Sinister's name. I was such a dork as a kid. Luckily, I grew out of that. And so there you have it. So we had 58 people that guessed that right, and then 3 people that guessed the direct market cover right. So again, it is $125 when it comes out, so cheaper than the 2 oversized hardcovers, and it has 1,240 pages. One of the biggest X-Men Omnis, up there with like X-Men Avengers Onslaught. So now let's get to the winners. Why don't you 2 read the winners?
Let me pull it up on Slack.
Well, here I'll start then. Do you want to start from second runner up and go up?
Yeah. So the second runner up again will get a stack of trades, not as big as this, but still a stack of trades. And then this is the first runner up, and then the grand prize winner. So congratulations to everybody. Thank you all for participating, and we'll be having more contests later on. We got to take a break because damn, that shipping the overseas kicked our asses. But we love you all, so that's why we have things like Patreon to pay for shipping. So Dan, without further ado, please kick it off however you want to.
Yeah, kick it off by mispronouncing things. Our second runner up is Dean Butery, Butery.
Okay.
Or Buttery.
Dean,
however,
shoot us an email, nearmintcon@gmail.com with how to get your prize.
All right. The runner-up, who is definitely in the chat, is Omar Reyes Jr.
Omar Reyes Jr. Man, what a cool name. Congratulations. I'm glad you won, man. Congratulations. So this stack, my man, is for you. This stuff's all for you, man. Just email us down there how you can get this prize. And finally, the grand prize winner that will get this Omnibus. Anybody?
Arthur Wu.
Oh, I thought you were going to do it.
Arthur Wu. No, she's good. She's good. Arthur Wu, one of our longtime viewers. I don't think he's in the chat today, but he won. So Arthur, well, let us know if you want this, and if you don't want this, I can send you a stack of trades. And I will pass this on to the other winner. But there you have it, or Dan. So congratulations to our winners, and thank you everyone for participating. Keep an eye on the channel. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because we do giveaways from time to time. It was a lot of fun to put all those together. So,
right, and now that Maddie's here, I'm going to jump off. And thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Be good, man. Thanks for joining us. How you doing, man? Look at your hair. It looks stunning. Did you do that? Did you get dressed up for the show?
I got bored. No,
You got bored?
I didn't even try to style this. I was too busy watching a friend play Suikoden 2. So that's why I wasn't on here at 11.
Because you were watching someone play Suikoden 2. That's kind of adorable, but I get it.
I was helping them out. I want to make sure that they get all the characters. So.
Oh, okay. I remember being pissed off at that game because I missed the character about 35 hours in. And I'm like, what do you mean I can't go back and get it? Damn it.
Okay. Meow.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
So the question is, since Maddie's here, what is the worst dub work ever? I can answer as far as anime, and there is a video game that my friend Shane Batenhausen worked on that I can also answer.
That's hard, because I can't think of any, because if they are bad, I've forgotten them, obviously, and I've chosen to listen to, like, the original, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I can talk about something that I don't like, which I don't like the One Piece dub. I think they did an okay job, but I can't listen to it as someone who's listened to the original, versus something like Gurren Lagann. I'm dub only.
Oh, see, Gurren Lagann is Japanese for me, but I get it. Rob only watches Dragon Ball Z in English, and I don't get that. But they don't, I guess, because Goku doesn't sound like a woman. My girlfriend has never read comics but loves Disney, mystery, and true crime. I already have Lifetimes of Scrooge McDuck box set. Hat tip to Omar. Any other suggestions?
Oh, yeah, tons of stuff. Like any Brubaker.
Yeah.
I think probably something like Abbott by Saladin Ahmed would go well for her. Nailbiter, if she likes true crime. Because if your girlfriend likes true crime, I assume she's also a murderino, like me. And like Kristen, who's my co-host on Fangirls. So I think something like that would do well.
Did you call yourself a what?
Murderino is what those who listen to My Favorite Murder podcast.
I was like, that's a thing. I was going to say pretty much anything that Ed Brubaker has written, like Criminal, Fade Out, those are quite excellent. Fatale's excellent. Even Scene of the Crime, to get her that small taste of what Brubaker is like. Rucka's also written some stuff like Stumptown.
And that Roxanne Gay book for TKO too, I think she would like.
Oh yeah, that was a good book.
Yeah, I just give that to my coworker. Never reads comics, and she's like, "Well, I'd like to try some." So I brought over a ton of stuff. I was like, "Here's Sunstone and Saga and that Roxanne Gay book I can't remember the name of, and a whole bunch of other stuff." And then after one day of reading Sunstone, she's like, "Can you please bring me the next one?" It's like, okay.
Black Sad, that's another one I
I
would strongly recommend if she likes anthropomorphic animals already, since you already got her the Duck comics. Miller would be good too. Yeah, Sin City is quite excellent.
I agree with Christoffel. I think, if she likes Disney, I think a lot of like first, second books or like DC Inc. would do well. Like, so if she's okay with like young adult novels in movies, then the next step is obviously like first, second.
Has Alan Moore's comics aged well? Yeah.
Depends on the comic.
I think most of the ones from I'm trying to think of Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow is still one of the best Superman stories ever written. Watchmen, I don't think that's ever aged. So much so that it's still as impactful as it was in '85. V for Vendetta never really clicked with me. So so I don't really have an opinion on that. But for the most part, like Miracle Man, all that stuff has aged rather well. Swamp Thing feels like it was just written yesterday.
Yeah, I think like Swamp Thing over Watchmen. I don't think Watchmen is readable to a lot of people right now.
You don't
I
think
understand
Watchmen is readable?
for a
How
lot
come?
of people currently. I don't think a lot of people like if you're going to comics right now.
Hmm.
I don't think Watchmen's going to be the one you want to pick up and
Oh,
really get into
how come?
versus Swamp Thing. I just feel like it's incredibly wordy. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
feel like a lot of people would relate to the characters right away. If you're talking about today's audience, Swamp
Mm,
Thing, I think would do very well.
okay. Yeah, something is very Vertigo too. Like it's a
Yeah,
beautiful fantasy.
yeah,
Whereas like Watchmen is very
it's just
real.
dense.
Well, it's real.
Yeah,
Like it was as real as it came back then.
yeah, but I don't even think that's the reason. I think there's comics I've read that are real, but not dense.
It's dense, but I don't know. I mean, there's multi layers of Watchmen that are enjoyable.
Yeah, I just think for right now, people.
Thank you, Michael, for adding your 2 cents about Watchmen is unreadable because I glued all the pages together. Would not be the same without you. Oh yeah, yeah. Superman for the Man Who Has Everything. Also a timeless classic. Absolutely. They were just asking earlier which we preferred. Go ahead.
I have. It looks really, really good. I'm excited to get into it because I actually got sent an advance copy. I was meant to do a review, and then work has been insane. But I've liked it so far.
From Hell. That's another good one. That's a good recommendation for that guy's girlfriend.
Mhm.
That is a great book.
We do have a super chat that we didn't.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I will super chat my postal costs. Oh, thank you so much. It was our pleasure, man. You don't need to pay for shipping.
Lionheart, I didn't know there was a Dr. Aphra omnibus coming out. I'd be interested. I'll see how I feel after.
She doesn't watch our show. It's okay.
I'm busy.
I didn't say anything. I just said you don't watch our show. I'm not saying why.
Damn. I maybe. I'm gonna read through my Star Wars omnibus by Aaron, and then eventually read through Darth Vader. So I might feel like getting it.
You're gonna. It's amazing.
I've only heard amazing things. The only Star Wars comic I've read is Dr. Aphra, and that's only one volume, and I liked it. And I'd be interested in reading more.
That was Kelly Thompson's run, right?
I'm not sure. Basically, like, just from Titans. I just started reading Titans, and
Outsiders is what you liked.
Oh, I love Outsiders, but it was because of Titans that I like Roy. My now husband, then boyfriend, liked Roy Harper in Arrow. I was like, well, let's see if I know you like him in Arrow. Let's see if we can read him in the comics and see what you feel like, if you like him. And then I got way into it because of Donna and Roy, and then just read everything. And I've never gotten over it, and I never will.
He'll be back. This is a really good question. Have you read George Perez's run on Wonder Woman?
No, I think I have one of like a hardcover or something, but I haven't read it.
So speaking of outdated and dense material, it is beautiful, but man, is it wordy. Not as wordy as Phil Jimenez's run, which is another beautiful book.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I got more out of Perez's run. Because Jimenez did the Paradise Lost and Paradise Found storyline. It was the Wonder Woman I grew up with, so I really have a lot of connections to it.
I think she's the one character that I can really read anything about her and still get through because it's her. I think there's some characters there's an exception, right? Where you're like, okay, if this was anybody else, maybe not.
I feel that way about X-Men. Yeah. But there are some, woo! Maybe we'll do old reader, new reader, the Phil Jimenez Wonder Woman, and then maybe you're going to be like, I don't know if I can get through this. Omar, what did you think of Velvet by Brubaker? We both really liked it. I had a mad crush on that woman. It is a excellent book, but a kick-ass, I guess she's an assassin. No, she's a spy. It's like James Bond with a badass hot chick.
So cool. Question for you both. When they decide to continue Saga, do you have enough self-control to wait for the trade or hardcover, or will you get the singles? I'll wait for the hardcover.
I'll do what I did with Saga all along. I'll read it every month it comes out. By the way, I love Sally, your picture of
Yeah,
My
it's
Neighbor
cute.
Totoro with Attack on Titan. That's awesome. Yeah, I will. I'll read them. I can't wait. It's it's freaking Brian K. Vaughan, and I've been waiting. Oh my goodness, it's been over a year now.
Yeah. But as a manga reader like us, that long of a hiatus is not a big deal. I know for like a lot of Western comics, oh man, it's been a year. Like, I like Hunter x Hunter and you like Berserk, and this is just the life we live.
You know nothing of waiting.
God.
Because yeah, it's Hunter x Hunter has a huge following, and they all go through heartaches. And then same thing as Berserk, when Miura is like, oh, I'll draw a chapter today, but you know what? I've always wanted to tell an Attack on Titan story, so I'm gonna take a break from Berserk for 2 years.
Yeah. It's rough.
Omar, how many Omnis would you say the Thor Aaron run would be approximately? One would be the God of Thunder, 2 would be the Jane Foster years, 3 would be the War of the Realms stuff, ending with King Thor. Yeah, 3. I think 3. Especially if they take out the War of the Realms storyline, which is also not collected in the. If they don't collect the War of the Realms that has its own omnibus, I think 3. 3 is good. We have a super chat from Fraser Trotter. How would you rate the second Miles Morales Omni? Is it worth the buy? Thanks, guys. I think we both really liked the original one. We did it for Old Reader, New Reader about 2 years ago. The second one, it feels like Bendis is writing a Bendis type of story, if you know what I mean, where he uses a lot of his own tropes. And to me, it just wasn't as good or as memorable. I can't even tell you, other than the return of a character that I'm like, what's the point of this? And I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah.
But all of the story is set in the 616 universe. So he's not in, because there is no more Ultimate Universe. This takes place after Secret Wars. But to me, it's not as good as the original Ultimate Spider-Man Miles.
First, thank you. It depends on if you want to do Teen Titans or Titans, or like what like grouping you want to read, because you've got like the original Teen Titans that then later became the Titans. That's my jam because I like the more older themes, and for that I would say Winnick's run on Titans. But if you want Teen Titans, probably Jeff Johns, which is really good. There's some parts I don't like about it, but I think it's very good overall. And it just depends on who you want to follow. Like, do you want the kids you see in the show? Like, you know, Beast Boy and Robin and Starfire and everybody? Or do you want who you're looking at, really?
I will say this about DC, is that they have done an amazing, despite of how I feel about their collected this editions department, they've done a really damn good job of keeping these characters aged. Like, Nightwing is still Nightwing. You know, had this been like at Marvel, every time that freaking Sunspot or Cannonball graduate to the X-Men, I get excited, or see them in Avengers. And then eventually I know they'll regress back to New Mutants. Same thing with all the other characters in New Mutants. It's like the kids cannot graduate. They're still kids. Whereas in DC, it seems like, you know, we have Arsenal. Well, now he's read it. He's dead now. Whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, they did, because even like when they rebooted 52, right? When we did the 52 reboot, those like original Teen Titans were Titans. They were older. Nightwing was still older.
Yeah.
So was Roy Harper. You know, some of them didn't exist until the end, which makes sense later. But like, they were allowed to do that. Now they don't get any older than that, but you know. What are you gonna do?
It would be idiotic if Marvel did not include War of the Realms on the Thor Omnibus. You need to spend $125 just to get the main series. Well, think about it.
Separate. I mean,
idiotic or a smart move on a business, right?
Yeah.
They know people will buy it. If you own the 3 Jason Aaron, and I'm not saying this is what they're going to do, it's just speculation. But if you own the 3, they know people will go and buy for. Just like my ass will buy the Inferno crossover when I had the Inferno OHC. Yeah. I want it all, and they know fans will buy it.
And honestly, I'd rather have War of the Realms as a separate omnibus by itself, so that way you can include the tie-ins and everything too.
The tie-ins are so fun in that too.
Yeah.
But I get it. I own one statue now, and that is the Cammy statue that a fan of the show sent me. There's my answer. I sold the others. So, Maddie, what's your favorite statue?
Oh man, I wish it was behind me. Definitely. Oh, I think Red Sonja is still my favorite. I really like my Wonder Woman a lot by Sideshow, but Red Sonja is my favorite one. And those are both Sideshow premium formats. And check in with me about 2 years from now, and I'll have my incredibly expensive Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn statue by Prime Studios in. Oh my god. I never thought I'd spend that much.
This is an excellent comment because I was just talking to Dan about this because somebody asked about Batgirl. So they're very selective about aging their characters. Barbara Gordon still hasn't regained her development from before the New 52, and same for you're right. That is the one character that I know that I remember Gail Simone fighting hard for that not to happen. But then she fell in love with Batgirl, right? Because she'd been writing Oracle for all those years on Birds of Prey. And then she, if any writer were to do that, then it had to be Gail. And, I'm glad that she did. I still feel weird because I loved Oracle as a character.
I almost wish we could have both and do some timey-wimey multiverse shit and have both. Because I really love New Batgirl. And I understand probably why they did it too, because she really does appeal to this Batgirl we have now appeals to a large audience. I love this Batgirl. I hate the new outfit change, but I love her.
I think DC has always built itself on legacy characters, and I think it was good the direction they were heading with Oracle being the mentor, and having either Cassandra Cain or Stephanie Brown step in for the role of Batgirls. But, so
I do think they don't do enough with the other two.
Well, Cassandra Cain was part of she was Orphan in Tinian's Detective.
Yeah.
But that's the last I saw her. And I don't even know where that... Well, Stephanie was on that team too.
Yeah.
But I don't even know where she is. And
they could do more with them.
But as much as I love Batgirl, I still think Cassandra Cain is the best Batgirl. That character, especially if you've never read the No Man's Land, you are in for a treat. To see that character growth is so awesome.
You haven't played Ghost of Tsushima yet, right?
Nope, that's all Maddie.
I have one main story quest left. I'm just filling out all the, getting all the trophies first. It's so good. But now I need to go back and play old games. And prepare for Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles coming out in 2 weeks.
That was the game that my wife and I used to flirt while playing. Orphan is in the Batman and the Outsiders book, which I have not been reading.
So I haven't either.
Ooh, look at this question. I love it. I'm a big fan of Firestar from the old Spider-Man cartoon. I wish they would make a 6-inch figure or bigger in the future. Any thoughts about this character? I love Ange. Angelica, she's one of my favorite characters because of New Warriors. And this is another thing that happened. It was right.
I remember her now. She was great.
Yeah, her costume was pretty simple, right? It was a yellow leotard with flaming mask. But, there was a character that grew, eventually joined the Avengers, which is what Marvel Boy wanted to do. So both her and Marvel Boy, except he was known as Justice, were in the Avengers. And then eventually they went back to New Warriors, just like these things happen at Marvel. And I kind of wish they would just stick to their guns and say, no, these characters are growing up. Kind of like what DC is doing with some of their characters.
We do not have a P.O. box, although honestly we should get one.
Yeah, we should probably get one.
It would make it easier.
It would, because people have asked a lot, and
it feels better than giving our personal addresses.
How about this? Next Saturday, we'll have a PO box, and then we'll put it on the.
Yeah, then we can do opening stuff.
Yeah, except for Anthrax, I don't want to do that. Omar, will you be watching DC Fandome and possibly be streaming it?
I'll be watching it.
What is that?
Oh yeah, it's a live stream event with a bunch of creators coming together to talk about there's like panels and programming.
So
I think
kind of
we'll
like
get
a
some,
Comic-Con at home?
yeah. So we'll probably get some DC announcements from that. Too.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Cassie has a great role in Deceased, which is an awesome series, and I can't wait to read the follow-up. Oh,
Bye.
come on, man!
Absolutely. I've been waiting so long. That series is so good. Man, so good.
I broke it to Tom King that we got an omnibus, and he was excited.
So good.
Not Tom King, Tom Taylor. Tom King wouldn't give a shit about all new Wolverine. But yes, I'm excited for that one. That was a big push, and I'm glad.
Oh man, Ace, my girl. I am sad about it.
How is everyone doing now that there will no longer be potato tacos? I don't even know what that is.
God.
What's a potato taco?
It's so good, Taco Bell. It's so good.
I have never. Okay.
Ace,
cool.
Ace knows me.
Okay. DC needs. Hold on a second. DC needs a collected editions department.
We've talked about that. You know that.
Yeah. I mean, I have high hopes, right? I mean, I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt that things will get better, but we'll see. There are no potato tacos in Jersey. And I haven't had Taco Bell in probably 2 years. Gotta run all key worker duties continue. Thanks, Omar, Maddie, in the room for making me sane during this pandemic. Have fun. You have fun as well, Del Boy. Thank you for joining us.
But yeah, like Sparfin said, it's gonna DC Fandom's gonna have movie, TV, games, and comic announcements. So probably like the Suicide Squad game and stuff too.
When is that? Did you see the Superman thing from Rock?
When is it actually? Is that soon? Is that August 22nd?
August 22nd.
Yeah, so we may need to do some like live tweeting or something.
Okay, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what live tweeting is, but that sounds
well,
fun.
Just to give our commentary throughout the day.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, it's just, or you guys could just be on Twitch like, oh, that's cool.
That's interesting.
All right.
Unless they announce something cool, like for you, it'd be like the rise of Roy Harper. You'd be like, oh my god.
Yeah, like I don't know.
And for me, it's like a Nightwing Omnibus by Chuck Dixon. I feel like New Mutants are similar to the OG Titans. They often reunite as adults. Yes. But when they do, unlike Titans, they don't drop the new, right? They're still New Mutants, which pisses me off because these characters have been around for over 30 plus years. And it's time sometimes to let your characters grow. So I know it's ridiculous to have a title known as the Mutants because that was the original title for the X-Men. But, you know, I was okay with X-Force. I was fine with that. Let them do that. Never had Taco Bell at all. We don't have Taco Bell here. You guys live in another country. Go ahead.
Booster Girl is easily my favorite superhero. I love that. Project Viking. Also, if that's really you should cosplay him. You know?
That's true. Yeah.
I have all his solo publications thus far and JLI. How essential are Generation Lost and Convergence? Any other arcs to look for? I've only read Convergence, so I can't say.
And I've read Generation Lost, and it is freaking awesome, except didn't finish the way that Winnick wanted it to finish. It was supposed to last twice as long, but whatever. The two hardcovers, I think, are hard to find.
There's like, I hate people that like dog on Convergence because I feel like that within Convergence there's some really good stories. There's just also a lot of bad stories too.
I got
So it just depends. Like I love the Titan stuff in there. There's a really good thing with Roy being able to see his daughter again. That's like heartbreaking, but
is it canon?
I don't know. Well, I mean, everything reboots after that, right? So it doesn't matter. Nothing Convergence matters.
Right. And I think
it last.
That's a big problem, right?
Yeah.
It was like old reader, new reader for something off the beaten path, like Meta Barons. That would be cool. I'm a big fan of that. That would be our first European book to read on on old reader, new reader.
Have you not read a European book before? Ooh, we should review. Did you get Zhao Dao's new book?
No. What is it?
It's in the other room where I was filming.
Of course.
It's that Chinese cuisine book. It's short.
Oh, okay.
Did you see that?
No.
Oh, it's beautiful. I can't believe you didn't pick it up.
I can't believe it either.
Yay! You should send us pictures when you do. I cosplayed a Blue Beetle at like a swimsuit con. my roommate and I did Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. It was really fun.
That's awesome. And let's see here. Elder Mutants. No, just Mutants. Omar, when will we see a reprint of Immortal Iron Fist or a new version that includes the rest of the issues that were not written by Brubaker and Fraction? I haven't heard. That wasn't even, when I did the poll, I don't think that even made it to the top 20. Which is weird because I know a lot of people want that reprinted. And I sold my Omnibus because I got the trade paperbacks because I figured they were never going to give us the rest in Omnibus format.
We've never reviewed any, at least not for Ollie or New. We're gonna do shit. Are we not gonna do one? Don't we have a Valiant one we're gonna read? I think I just bought a Valiant comic recently.
You just bought a I own one Valiant comic of New Valiant. I assume you're talking about. We don't talk about it because Valiant, that was one of my confessions. I had never read New Valiant. So I had a good friend of mine, Lloyd, who's in, I don't know if he's in the chat anymore. He sent me a copy of Bloodshot to read, and I still have not read it, and I suck as a friend.
Is it Ninjak supposed to be good?
Well, Christos Gage is writing it when he comes back on board.
I read Faith, but I didn't really get into it. I don't know if the newer ones are good. What did I pick up recently? I picked up a Valiant comic. I was like, oh, that's weird.
You picked up a Valiant comic?
Yeah, but I don't remember what it was. So
all I have is Bloodshot, so I need to get more. We were in touch actually for a while. We were in touch with their people, their PR people. They were gonna start sending us stuff, but nothing ever came of it. And honestly, it's my fault. I never followed up either. And they're supposed to be closing their New York office. I think moving to I think California. Yeah.
Yeah.
More Transformers videos, please and thanks, Omar. You got it. I just got volume 11. My daughter and I are both reading it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Amanda's got the Omnibus. Maddie's got the Omnibus. He's asking for Strangers in Paradise, old reader, new reader.
And I definitely want to do a video or bring Terry on once 5 years later Omnibus. When
does that drop?
Later this year.
Okay. Because I know we both pre-ordered it.
Yeah, because once that comes in, I would love to do, and maybe it'd be like more of a, not really over new reader, but just live discussion. Like, talk about all of it together, since it all ties in.
5 years?
No, I mean, like, the Terryverse.
The Terryverse, okay.
Yeah, because since it all goes in together, it'd be fun to discuss live, I think.
Oh, I'm down with that. That sounds like a good idea. Yeah. That's one that I've recommended that for years on the channel. It's one of my favorite books.
I love Strangers in Paradise. Where's Geos? Geo said, time to review Exo, Manowar, Archer, and Armstrong and Faith. I mean, I'll do it for you, Geo. Do you want to come on the show and talk about Valiant? Want to do an old reader, new reader with us?
Wasn't 5 years later hated. I haven't read it, so I don't know if it was hated. The Legion. No. 5 years later. Not Legion. 5 years later, the Terry Moore follow-up to all his stories.
GT, I'm so glad you read it. I'm glad you read
it. What an awesome story, right? Loved it.
Ezra Clayton Daniels followed me on Twitter this week.
Nice.
Because
That's the writer and artist.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of posting lately about how I recommend it to people.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Have you listened to the Sandman Audible yet? I guess I'll listen after we do the review.
Yeah, we're doing old reader, new reader at the end of the month. So that will be on August 25th.
Yeah. And
I strongly suggested doing that before reading, because I can't wait to listen to it. I mean, Neil Gaiman's the narrator, right? And his voice is wonderful. Then you have James McAvoy, my girl Kat Dennings.
Our girl Kat Dennings, really.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not selfish. I share. Let me see. Omar, will you reveal the Marvel box set soon? That box set was pushed until the next quarter, so I have to wait until Marvel gives me the approval. Otherwise, I would.
What older manga would you guys recommend to modern readers? For me, I recommend Nausicaa and Crying Freeman, both higher forms of the genre and art form of manga. Um, it depends how old. Um, Anything Urasawa about it that's really older. I don't know. It's so hard for me to like recommend older manga to people. Newer is easier.
Just watch my book tour. It's nothing but old manga. Like, that's all I have.
A lot of my older stuff I've read is more like shoujo stuff. Really. Shit, I saw a comment I wanted to put up. But I don't remember. Oh yeah, anything by Suzuka, of course, but
So
and yeah, Lone Wolf and Cub.
For me, I think like a lot of manga that gets recommended, are your traditional recommendations like Battle Angel Alita, Ghost in the Shell, Akira. So going off the straight path, I recommend Blade of the Immortal. That's like one of my favorite ones. Urusei Yatsura, Ranma, Maison Ikoku.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's that old, but I love
like,
Fushigi Yugi.
I feel like I need a year cut off. I need to know what's old, and then I can recommend. I'm like, what this.
Well, I can. In America, it was very. In America, manga became big in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't until the late 90s that manga was huge. But in the early 90s, it was literally I was buying everything that was available because it was only Viz. Every once in a while, Dark Horse. So, oh my goddess, definitely recommend that just because it's the stuff I grew up with. Utena was released in America finally. Jesus, we waited. Tokyo Pop, I think, released it at first, and then that new beautiful format came out. There's a series by Akira Toriyama called Dr. Slump. I don't hear enough people talk about that, and it's freaking hilarious.
That's popular with like younger women right now because Dr. Slump came really popular with like in fashion wise. So like Japan, there's a lot of like Dr. Slump fashion and like hats and stuff. So
yeah, okay. I can see that. Silent Mobius. It's another one that I recommend. There is a Katsuhiro Otomo's book that was not available in America, but it is in English, and it's Memories. And it is like they made a movie out of it.
I love Memories.
Yeah. Elliot, are you going to give Maddie some money while we are live so she can buy some books live? Such a calling your husband out, man.
Money, please.
Samurai Executioner, that's a good one. Does anyone read Attack on Titan? I've read the first 4 big, oversized books. One Piece should be read by any human being. Best story in mankind. Dude, I hate and love One Piece because
it's so good.
One Piece has fucked up world building for every other damn comic and manga ever.
And there's a reason why
because it is the greatest world building ever. You cannot surpass it.
No, it's amazing. Like there's no plot holes. He's just so incredible. And there's like, I talked to my friends who are really into JoJo's, and I like JoJo's a lot. I cosplayed from it, but like it's hard for me to appreciate JoJo's because I know that mangaka just litters it with holes, litters it with plot holes, and it just drives me insane. And I can't. I cannot deal with it. 20th Century Boys. So good.
Yeah, that's another good one. I wish they would finish Pineapple Army. Oh, what a good question. I think we've been asked this before because I remember you didn't have a lot. What's your favorite Gundam anime?
G, Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Wait. Oh, you said G. I love G. I know people hate it, but
G.
I don't care.
It's so
I don't care.
good.
It's wonderful.
I grew up with Wing, but I wouldn't put it as my favorite.
I think that's the only one Rob has seen, and it's the only thing that he relates to Gundam. And I'm like, Gundam is nothing like Gundam Wing, dude.
No, Gundam Wing was made for
Gundam is
ladies,
brutal.
I feel like.
Yes, for ladies that are into dudes who look like pretty boys. I like Stardust Memories. That's one of my favorites. I love Stardust Memories. But I also liked the first part of Gundam Zero. Was it Gundam Zero? Double Zero?
Yeah.
I like that.
That's the one I'm watching through.
Oh, what a good question. This this one here.
Yes.
You guys watch any Magical Girl? Hell
I
yeah.
do. We can talk about
All right.
any of them.
What did you grow up with? What was your
Well,
first
Sailor Moon was my
taste
first
of a
like
Magical Girl? That sounds wrong.
anything. Sailor Moon was like the first one.
Yeah.
Right? For me. And then of course, you know, it was just me watching or reading whatever came to me. So like Tokyo Mew Mew. I recently got into Pretty Cure as an adult.
That's an older one.
Yeah. Madoka Magica, obviously.
That set the bar for a different type of Magical
And that's
Girl.
the one I want to get Kristen into. Because I think she's going to like it. I don't know, I love Magical Girl stuff.
Cardcaptor Sakura for me.
Oh, yeah,
Of course,
yeah.
Sailor Moon,
Yeah.
because my wife. I would put Utena as a Magical Girl,
No.
honestly.
No.
Oh, no? I'm wrong? Okay.
But
Princess
Cardcaptor
Tutu.
Sakura, definitely.
Princess Tutu. That's another one I don't hear enough people talk about. I really love that one. And Magical Girl Pretty Sammy, just because I was a big fan of the Tenchi universe.
Can we count... shit.
What?
Hi,
Tokyo Mew Mew? Did you
No,
say
no,
Tokyo
no.
Mew Mew?
Cutie Honey. Does that count?
Sure.
She transforms.
Yeah. Which version of Cutie Honey?
I had to sing the theme song in my head first before I remember what it was called.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the '90s theme song of Cutie Honey.
Is that not?
That's like the best.
I rock that at karaoke.
I jogged to that.
Shit.
I jogged to that shit. I love that intro.
So good.
Ray Earth. Thank you so much for reminding me of that Darkest Timeline.
Love Ray Earth.
Yep.
Somebody
absolutely.
had asked about Tina. Tina's good. She's been busy. She's frontline. She works at like a dental office. Sorry, she works in an eye doctor's office, so she's been, you know, having a rough go of it. But feel free to ever send some love on our like social media to her, because I'm sure she could use it.
Yeah, Tina's a great lady. I'm a big fan of the Inuyasha TV series. Have you seen the prequel? I think is what it is, or sequel.
Inuyasha or Yashahime.
Yeah, Yashahime.
Yeah. Have you watched the like teaser for that?
Nope. I've seen nothing.
Oh shit! We see Sango Miroku's kid.
Oh.
And yeah, Kaede's still alive. How is Kaede still alive?
I don't know. These things. I love when new things. When something old is new, but then it reminds me how old I am, like where I was when I watched. Because I was out of college when I was watching the original Inuyasha.
Real
and
quick
Ninja Scroll.
You talk about Ninja Scroll. Do you watch Seven Deadly Sins?
No.
Oh my god! Please watch it. Also, the newest season just dropped on Netflix.
It's a Netflix exclusive.
Oh my god! Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. It just dropped yesterday. I was like, I'll watch it for a second, and I was like, I can't stop. I have to keep going.
It's so hard for me to watch anime because when I get hooked, then I start watching other stuff. Vampire Hunter D. Before I go back to that, Ninja Scroll. My wife walked down the aisle to D's theme, the 1987 D. So it means a lot to us.
What about Devil Hunter Yoko and Vampire Princess Miyu?
Devil Hunter Yoko. Oh my god.
Devil Hunter Yoko taught me some things that I did not like. It taught me a lot of Birds and the Bees stuff.
Okay.
I
remember that was the one that I watched with my younger brother, who was probably like 8 at the time or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, there's titties here. Okay, maybe we should. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like when they're tying her up, and I was like, oh, they have the whole thing about her being a virgin. I'm like, man,
all my anime had like boobs in it, and I don't know how none of my parents ever like happened to walk into me watching shit. I was like, this is fine.
Man, y'all are bringing back so many memories. Yes, Record of Lodoss War for sure. And Macross Plus had like the very first what is Miku? What is that called? What is that style of
Vocaloid?
Yeah, it had the very like first Vocaloid on man.
So
and it's Macross. I know you watched the first season, and I did too, of Sword Art.
I have a lot of problems with Sword Art.
All right.
I really love the first season. I just feel like, and I heard the light novels are better, but I think you've got like a Mary Sue situation with the main character, right? Where it's like he can do no wrong, he always does well, he kills it, and they bring in these female characters that are really cool, and then ultimately they're rendered useless. They don't really do a lot with them, and I think that upsets me, which is why I feel like Shield Hero is better.
Okay. And Shield Hero, I watched a couple episodes with Tina. The animation in that is amazing.
I really hope you either read or watch the rest of it because the story's very interesting. Because he's the opposite. Because he's like everything shits on him. This entire world shits on this dude. It's so good.
I did start reading Dr. Stone though.
Good.
I hadn't read it before, and I finally got it. And yes, Sharon Apple is iconic. She's part of my music on my iTunes. I love that stuff, man.
Perfect Blue, perfect.
Yeah,
and
Perfect
man,
Blue is
Kite.
phenomenal.
That's
Kite, the uncut version of Kite, boy. That was more than fan service.
That stuff got banned too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's hard to watch or talk about. So
I mean, that Kite, the unrated version, I'm sorry, is like your borderline hentai. Like it might as well. Ninja Scroll and Vampire Hunter D. Ninja Scroll was awesome. My wife has a funny story about Ninja Scroll. She'll be on next Saturday, and I'll let her tell it, and you all can remind me.
And
please.
we know that I love Wrath of the Ninja more than Ninja Scroll.
Yes,
but that's just
she does.
That's my nostalgia. I know it's not better, but I'm ride or die Wrath of the Ninja.
She is. She loves Yota Den.
It's my favorite anime movie. I don't care how bad it is.
Sledge, thoughts on Fist of the Blue Sky? I, for years, have wanted somebody to freaking finish Fist of the North Star in English, and it was never finished. And then when Comics One had the rights to Fist of the Blue Sky, I got excited because they were coming out, and they also did not finish that run. But so I have no idea how I feel about it because I never got to finish it. Wicked City was awesome, by the way. No, you're good. Somebody mentioned watch Wicked City. I dare you. It was awesome. My girl with the nails.
Ace, you'll love Utena. I love Utena. I watched all the anime. I'm gonna buy the manga set. I had the movie. It's really good. It's odd, but like, I feel like Utena was such a icon for me. Like, she was like my hero growing up. Because one, I mean, she's bisexual, which is really cool. But two, she didn't want to be the prince, or she didn't want to be the princess. She wanted to be the prince. And I felt like, at the time, Western cartoons didn't have that kind of those kind of characters for me, right? But anime did. So like Utena and Sailor Moon, those were the women that I looked up to growing up. And I feel like really are those are the anime that defined me. I think we even talked about that in our one of our panel videos.
And I think that's wonderful because I have very similar stories about anime with me. I will say that if you have not watched it, it is so much more than what you think it is.
Yeah,
because by the time you get to the movie, you realize, oh my gosh, this predates Evangelion. And even though, some of the directors went on to do Evangelion, it's just as bizarre. Well, and I don't even want to talk about the mindfuck of that ending. What?
And don't watch the movie until you watch the show.
Yeah.
Well, you can, but
I definitely recommend that.
There's a lot. There's a lot in this.
Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Is Absolute Carnage coming out? It's okay. Here's the thing about Absolute Carnage. I didn't say this earlier. This is not FOMO, but it is sold out already. But there's a second batch coming later this year. So if you want it now, keep in mind either pre-order. Well, I don't think you can pre-order now, but get it, that first week because it probably will sell out, unless you want to wait. And yes, you can totally wait, and there will be another batch later. So keep that in mind. Don't get freaked out when you see it sold out. Don't think it's out of print. It's just out of stock. There will be another batch later on. I don't know if it'll be a month or two, but it'll be coming later.
Azumanga Daioh for sure.
Yeah, Azumanga
I know you
Daioh.
didn't ask me, but you should have.
You should have. Azumanga Daioh as well. My daughter wants to watch it because she watched a little clip of the cat creature thing that walks into the room and starts speaking English.
She would like it. She's a good age for Azumanga Daioh.
It's gonna be so fun. And Alicia, my youngest daughter, has read Yotsuba and she loves it.
Yeah.
Yes, so it was pushed back till September. I know it was supposed to originally come out. Absolute Carnage was supposed to come out in August.
I have seen this. Have you ever seen this? The leaked video of Saban's American Sailor Moon.
The live action. Yeah. I thought he was gonna say Sailor Moon and the Seven Balls. Do you remember that hentai?
Yeah, I
Of
do.
course you do.
Maddie, what's your favorite horror manga? I'd probably Uzumaki, a tie between Uzumaki and Kurosagi Corpse Delivery Service.
Those are good. Those are some good choices. Let me see. This makes sense. Okay, Omar, I got a Usagi Yojimbo Saga Book 1. The first story arc is with TMNT, and the story they specify they have met before. What books do I need? The other books are not owned by Dark Horse. They're owned by Fantagraphics, so you need the Fantagraphics. There's, I think, 2 thick trade, either trades or hardcovers. And I think they're just called Usagi Yojimbo. I think something like that, but that's what it is. So yes, Absolute Carnage is already sold out. So meaning that, you know, when you get it from Cheap Graphic Novels or in-stock trades, Tales of Wonder, that's it until the second batch comes out later. So keep that in mind. Don't think you're going to miss out on it.
Can you recommend some manga for me, like Death Note and Monster, please and thanks? Yeah, go read Pluto.
Pluto's awesome.
Man, I've read so much manga that I feel like it just. Do you ever just try to tap into that like deep knowledge of all the manga you've read? You're like, I just don't know. There's a ton.
And then the way that your brain works too, just doing, you know, from doing shows with you, you have to have read something in order for you to remember it.
Erased. You might like Erased. It's another like. There's some time travel, like murder mystery stuff involved that I think you'd like. I'll have to think on this. But definitely Pluto, at least Pluto, 20th Century Boys, of course.
I was gonna say 20th Century Boys.
You know, if you like Urusara already, you're gonna like those.
I was gonna say Hellgirl and Pet Shop of Horrors. As far as
more
manga,
mystery stuff, you know.
And as far as mystery, oh God, what was it called?
Spidey fan. We don't talk about that Erased anime ending though. I love the show. I hate that ending so much.
Oh, damn it! I can't not remember the name of this. It was released by Tokyo Pop. Lament of the Lamb. That was it. Lament of the Lamb. You can find it cheap. It's way out of print, but they're pretty cheap because nobody really seeks after it because it's a book that nobody talks about. I would recommend others, but I'm not gonna do that. Like, because I realize Mushishi is impossible to find without you spending $300 on a volume.
Yeah,
so
I'd almost have to go through like a list of like manga I've read just to go find some.
You should do that. Don't you have Goodreads? Somebody suggested us getting that or doing that.
I'm so bad at it. Like organizational stuff like that is very difficult for me to do. It's easier if one manga that website didn't die, I could tell you exactly everything that I've ever read. But once it did, I was like, nope, it's gone.
Reading Berserk Volume 5 right now. What else should I read, where manga or not, since Volume 6 is months away?
Oh man, a ton.
That's like Berserk?
Vinland Saga.
Mm-hmm. Conan. Seriously,
yeah.
if you like Berserk, Red Sonja,
Claymore, yeah, Red Sonja, Claymore.
Claymore is awesome. I agree, and it's finished, so you don't have to wait for another volume.
Yeah.
Get that beautiful box set. Have either of you read My Favorite Thing is Monsters?
And I need to because it did win an Eisner, right? I want to do an Eisner show really bad. I just need to buy the books.
To remind everybody, we have a Patreon, and the next vote is for one of the Eisner winners. So it's either, I think, Little Bird or Invisible Kingdom and Bitter Root. But I did read that 2 years ago with my wife, and it's rough. It's there's a lot of tough things that happen in it, but it's a good read. Omar, are you doing anything this coming Tuesday on your channel? I hope so. What do you know about my future that I don't? I'll be there on Old Reader, New Reader at 8 o'clock. We're talking about the Journey into Mystery series by Kieran Gillen. It's the Loki story. And in the morning, I'm gonna do probably some trades that are coming out from Marvel, because I got a package from Marvel that I need to get that video out. So that's what I'll be doing, unless you know something I don't, Lionheart. When's that, man? Oh, sorry. They keep reminding me. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Soon. The Batman. I'm serious, guys. The Batman reading order is kicking my ass. I've had to read so much freaking Batman, and then try to decide when to suggest reading something. It is really a freaking task. And then I realize, I'm like, wait, this isn't my job. I should just be having fun with this. But I take these things seriously, so I promise when I can focus on it, I will. Because that list is coming, I swear. Maybe Maddie could do a list. I know she's got a favorite top 20 manga.
I'd have to think through, but yeah.
Yeah, it's the thinking through, right? That's what I do.
Yeah, because like some of this about like this older stuff too, like Mars. Have you read Mars? It's really good.
Mars, the manga?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it? No, I don't think I have.
Oh, that's so good.
Omar, Maddie, and Spidey fan, he's been asking. I'm sorry. The questions just keep coming. Either of you read a certain magical index or railgun?
I'd like to. I think at the time it was coming out, it was really popular with a lot of people that the kind of people I didn't like. And so I had this sort of like tainted vision of it, right? So I do want to go back and watch it now, because I heard a lot of the newer like related shows are really good too.
Got you. Okay. Ooh, both Inferno covers are great. Just saw them. Yep, I showed them at noon, so about an hour into the show, if you all want to see them. And congratulations again to our winners.
Good luck, Nocturne.
Yeah, good luck, man. Have a great day. Good luck on that job interview, brother.
Yeah.
Is new X-Men series as good as Uncanny? So there's several new X-Men series. Are you talking about the Grant Morrison run or the Colin Yost run? Or are you just talking new X-Men comics in general? Because for the most part, I think they have their ups and downs, right? Just as like Uncanny.
Good meow now, dude. I love Mars. It's a classic.
I remember Peach Girl and Fushigi Yugi.
Yeah.
And Fushigi Yugi just dropped another sequel.
I know.
Like,
is that
this
not
week.
crazy? I was like, what?
I'm
It's
a big
2020.
what's her
What is
name?
this?
You fan? So
Yeah,
whatever she
same.
makes, I'm in. I'm in.
Christoffel, yeah, I can recommend a ton.
Family friendly Netflix shows.
Yeah, it depends. You want just animated or? Oh my god, why does my brain not work? The minute it just like nope.
It's okay. It's okay. Let me think.
Voltron.
Fuller House. That's where my damn brain worked. I should have let you answer.
One day at a time. One day at a time.
And
You see
I'm
that?
gonna say Anne with an E.
Oh my
My
God.
daughter and I love Anne with an E.
Yes.
That's where I will say that's where she learned about periods, though. And I had to, because my wife was working that day, and I'm like, damn it, I have to teach her. Thanks, Anne with an E.
And with these, so good.
But it's sadly it's over. Somebody earlier was asking what we thought of Umbrella Academy season 2. Have you finished it?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, I did
Very
too.
Good. Better than season 1.
Absolutely, I thought the same thing.
It was incredible. Like, it's obviously so different from the comic book, but like, man, how much fun was that whole show? I could not put it down. I'm upset that I finished it so fast, because now I just have to wait.
Yeah, that's the problem with
The
binging,
twist,
right? I wish they would
the
drop.
twist was so good.
I like the
so
characters
happy.
that they introduced in the season,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and I was like, please take them. Okay, I know Amanda wants to review it thoroughly, and we probably will when she comes
So
back
good.
next week. But I will say, I was like, please take the characters with you, and then the ending. And I have a little bit of a problem with that ending, but it was probably the same problem that I had with this entire season that I don't want to give away.
Yeah.
So, but if you have watched it, tune in next week. We'll be reviewing that. And Maddie,
So
you are more than welcome to
good.
join us if
Sure.
you want to.
Are you caught up on Stargirl, by the way?
Yes.
One episode left.
No. Two. I'm two behind. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh
not
my
caught up.
god. Please catch up and talk to me about it.
Okay.
I'm
I promise I will.
dying.
I gotta read Journey to Mystery first, and then read
So
Batman.
good. There we go. These are all the ones I couldn't think of. Freddy and
Troll
Bunch
Hunters. Oh, that's right,
Hilda,
Hilda.
Voltron. Yeah.
She-Ra, Voltron. Voltron
Freddy
looked
in
fun.
there.
Lost in Space. That's another one.
Ooh,
I
all
really
the
like Lost in Space. The new
DC
one.
superhero girls.
Oh, is that on Netflix?
Yeah, that shit's hilarious. Honestly.
There needs to be a
Sorry.
Yost and no, it's okay. And I cannot wait for Boys Season 2.
Me too.
That show, and I love the comic book, but the show is just so good.
I like this
So
way
good.
more than the comic book.
Hold on just a second. What was the other one? Oh, this one here. There needs to be an X-Force and Craig Kyle and Christopher Yost X-Force Omnibus. Yes, but then you would have to put in the Messiah War. So it might be 2 Omnis, right? If you throw in Cable in there, maybe they could do an X-Force and Cable stuff. You got the Bishop miniseries, Messiah War, maybe even throw in Second Coming and Ex Necrosha and all that. I would have fun mapping that. Yet to watch Umbrella Academy Season 2. Thanks, something for tonight. There you go. Please, it's good. That's all I will say. How does Umbrella Academy TV show and comic compare?
The first season is as if you combine the first and second story arc.
Yeah, and then this borrows from the second story, but it doesn't have... It replaces the characters of Hazel and Cha-Cha with other characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I like what they did with Hazel and Cha-Cha, and they fleshed them out more. But you're right. It's like they did their own thing, literally the entire season.
And I think that was a good move, personally. We are hitting 1 o'clock.
Okay, so we're gonna start wrapping up. I'll take a couple more questions. Omar, Inferno Omnibus covers are you gonna get? I want that direct market cover. It looks amazing. As far as the Preacher Omnibus, has that been released? I cannot keep up with DC's dates. I'm still waiting on my House of Mystery Volume 2. Somebody was asking about the X-Men animated series. Did you like that growing up, Maddie? I answered this question earlier. Okay.
Absolutely.
So
I liked every one I've seen. I love the original X-Men. I love X-Men Evolution. I love Wolverine the X-Men. I think they're all great.
You're a true fan, then. That's what's up. I'm excited for it. I hope some Omar Kat Dennings not...
You can be wrong, Jesse.
Jesse, I realize that some people like steak, some people like chicken, some people like fish, but everybody loves Kat Dennings.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's my girl.
And we have a super chat. Which run or version of Conan should I focus on? The Claymore box set looks awesome, but I'm worried the deluxe size has ruined... Oh, I don't know if they'll do a deluxe size of Claymore. It is a good read, though. You should totally check it out. As far as which version, if you want more adultish stuff with more adult content, like boobies and more violence, get Savage Sword of Conan. That is in black and white, though, so keep that in mind. If you want more of traditional storytelling of Conan that you probably saw from like the cartoon, the Conan Adventure stuff, get the Marvel years. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. This was a lot of fun. Again, congratulations to our winners. As soon as I start getting emails, I'll start shipping it out. This stuff. Maddie, you want to...
Yeah, real quick. If anyone's interested, at 5 o'clock today, 4 hours from now, I'll be on Omnidog's channel talking about Wonder Woman. So,
okay. So there you have it.
I will be there.
If anyone's interested in Maddie or Wonder Woman or even that Omnidog guy who joined me on Thursday, go and check that out at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com. Tell them Near Mint Condition sent you their way. And that's it, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Much love to all of you.